Hey guys, welcome back to Once Upon a Tiny Farm. My name's Drew. In today's video, I want to talk about one thing that I did recently that has my chickens actually laying eggs again. And they haven't been doing that for a very long time because of the cold weather. And I want to tell you what I did that's very, very simple that you could probably do in your backyard flock too, to hopefully help them become more comfortable and lay more eggs. So stick around. So what I did, based on some observations from other people's YouTube videos on how they have their chickens lay more eggs over the winter, is I just used an extra greenhouse plastic that I had laying around and decided to cover another portion of my chicken's run. And it's been about a week now, and half of my birds are actually laying again. I have 10 chickens in here. 4 of them are white leghorns, and the white leghorns have started laying every day again. I'm getting 3 or 4 white eggs in my nesting box, which is awesome since I've put this in here, which is amazing. I also have 4 more newer chickens that I've had for like 6 or 7 months, and they haven't started laying yet. And one of those, I think that was the black copper Moran chicken that I got. It's a pretty dark chocolate colored egg. I think that chicken has started laying their first eggs as well since I put this up. So I think that's awesome, and I kind of am mad at myself for not having put this up a lot earlier. But what I've come to realize is, I know this isn't the prettiest thing in the world, and actually it hasn't been used because this came from a cheap greenhouse kit that I got on Amazon like 2 or 3 years ago. And it actually, I didn't secure everything down to the ground well enough. Also, the metal poles that came with that kit broke in 1 or 2 really bad windstorms that we had. So that kit all fell apart, and actually some of the plastic got torn and ripped because it got lifted off the ground twice and flew over to a neighbor's property, and some of the metal mangled the different parts of the plastic, but most of it's okay. And I figure I hate to waste plastic, so I'm going to use it to cover this part of my chicken's run. And now I have, originally I only had covered the back part of my chicken's run, right where it comes out from their coop. There's I think it's like an 8x10 area, and I just covered it with a extra tin roofing panels that I had laying around. So it's just a small area that is covered. So for the first 2 years that I had chickens, that was the only area that they could stay dry when it was snowing or raining, and it was just a really small area. And now I have more chickens than I did when I first started. So my run expanded. I added another 10x10 area onto it. And then another, this might be like 10x12 area over here. This area is not yet covered, but I want to cover it maybe. I haven't figured out how I want to do it. I might want to get some clear polycarbonate roofing panels so that I could get sunlight in there but keep it covered. I haven't figured out how exactly I'm going to do that yet. But I'm probably going to cover this as well. And this area, now that I've covered this, I think it's taken a lot of stress off of the chickens. And I've realized that when the chickens are stressed, they just stop laying completely. If they're not feeling comfortable, they're not going to lay eggs. So this has taken a lot of the stress of the change of seasons. And they already went through their molting process. When they're molting and they're putting on their winter feathers, they're not laying at all during that because all their energy is going into producing those thicker winter feathers. But that's all done now, and now they can stay a little bit warmer, keep a lot of the wind off of them, the cold wind from the weather, the cold weather. And I really wish I had done this a long time ago. So even though it's kind of ugly looking, I know, but it's just for my chickens, and I don't think the chickens care. I think the chickens just want to live a good life and be outside. They're still getting sunlight in there, and they're pretty comfortable. So something I wish I had done a long time ago: cover as much of their run as possible, especially over the winter, to keep them more comfortable. It'll also keep them more comfortable in the fall and spring when there's lots of rainfall. the more area that they can stay dry and keep their feet dry and not be covered in wet mud all the time, the cleaner your eggs are going to be, first of all, and the healthier the birds are going to be. And there's less chance of them getting like frostbite or whatever from going into their coop all wet from being outside in the wet, cold rain. So just wanted to share that. This has made a huge difference. It's only been a week, but my chickens are laying again. And last winter, I didn't have this covered at all. And I got no eggs for like 3 or 4 months, and it was the worst time of my life. It was the worst. We had to go to the store and buy eggs. Like, who wants to do that? When you have chickens, we're living here rent-free, not paying their rent, just living here, eating the food, but not laying eggs. So I decided, got to make their lives more comfortable. Another thing I started doing is feeding them some more black soldier fly larvae treats. I got them from Tractor Supply. I do that every once in a while. I don't like to do that as much, but my coop, my chickens are caged in this run, and I don't have them free ranging right now. But that's another thing that I want to do when I have the time now. Over the next month or two, I want to create a run along the outskirts of my garden here on this side of our property, so that the chickens can free range a little bit, but in a controlled setting where I have like a 2 or 3 foot caged in area behind my gardens that will come out from behind the coop and go up this way. And I think that would look really cool when people come to visit and see our garden and see our chickens running right behind the garden in a caged in area. So it'll keep them safe from predators that we have flying around. There's a lot of creatures out here like groundhogs and stuff. I'm sure would love to snatch up one of my chickens. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing to make them hopefully stay healthier and get more protein, live a more natural life and healthy life. So that's another thing I got coming up. So stick around for that if you're interested in seeing that. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. Just wanted to share this real quick. Cover as much of your chicken's run as possible, and they'll be a lot happier and probably lay you a lot more eggs. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.